Okay, takedown and cleaning of the Walther P22 22 long rifle handgun. Let's go through some of the items I use real quick. Tub of grease. It's Mobile One synthetic grease. An old, the name escapes me, pellet for my pellet gun. The 177 caliber pellet can. Comes in handy for holding grease. A Mobile One oil, engine oil in an old contact lens case eyedropper thing. Hops number 9 oil and a little eyedropper. Tool that comes with the gun to remove the thread protector on the barrel. Rem oil. Rem action cleaner. Current thing I'm using, Gunslick Pro foaming bore cleaner. Good stuff so far. I'll go back to using the Hops number 9 solvent every now and then. A punch if you have lost, let's just make sure this gun's safe before we point it at the cameras. If you have lost the tool to, this gun comes with a tool that you place to kind of center your guide rod spring when you're putting the slide back on the gun. So if you have lost that, like I have, punch will work just fine. Some patches for the appropriate caliber, a jag for 22 caliber, toothbrush, and I am missing one item here, and that would be my 22 caliber or 223 bore snake. So let's get right to it in case you were checking this video to see how to field strip this weapon. Very easy. Lock the slide back. You're going to run this, push this down here. I've heard of these break-ins, so just be easy on them. This gun here's got about 10,000 rounds through it, tons and tons of cleanings, and although it is a little wobbly, it still works, and I haven't ripped it off the gun yet. Then we release our slide, try and show it from this side, and we kind of lift up and off. Careful, it is under pressure there. I don't know if you caught the whole thing. Remove your guide rod. Your spring which is no different on either side, so you don't have to worry about that. So we can see the wear that we get after a few many thousand rounds. So I believe it's about 10,000 rounds. This is you can correct me if I'm wrong, it's either zinc or magnesium. Very soft, light metal. But it did some initial wearing and then kind of stopped. And after that, the gun kind of actually worked a lot better. Was a lot more reliable. And we can see it's actually not that dirty. But anyway, let's get right down to taking it the rest of the way down. You can clean the gun with the barrel on. That's entirely up to you. I remove it. This doesn't need to be very, very tight, so don't make it very, very tight. I'm sure you can, if you lose this wrench, you can find the appropriate size. These threads are usually pretty clean and easy to remove. Oh, I think I'm just spinning here. Okay, so that's off. This should pull right out. There we go. A little gunked up, but so there's our barrel sleeve. Our thread protector. Our barrel will now slide out. Watch the ejector when you're pulling it out. Take a look at it. It's not so bad. You're not going to be able to see in there, but anyway, that's our field strip gun. Simple as that. A little harder to put back together, but we'll get to that in a minute. So let's begin. I'm just going to move this aside. This is going to be a quick cleaning. Just kind of crank it out. I did put probably about 50, maybe a little more than 50 rounds through it in this last sitting. I really wasn't planning on shooting it at all, but I brought it with me and decided I would shoot it. So I just want to get my grease off the gun. I spray this stuff everywhere. I don't care. While it's still wet. Brush out as much as I can. Remove my grease. I like to wipe this stuff off the plastic frame as soon as possible. I don't think it does any damage. Nevertheless, but you can see what it does when it gets on the slide. And I don't know if that's good or bad. It never stays permanent, but I do not like, just in case, I'm just going to hit this with lemon oil for now. It's usually why I move everything out of the way when I'm spraying that stuff. I don't know if it harms everything, but it can't hurt to be safe. Get inside these rails. There's a lot of nooks and crannies on this gun. I'm really interested in actually looking up some YouTube videos on how to take it fully down, because this has been 10,000 something rounds, and this thing still functions flawlessly. So I mean, it hiccups every now and then, like most 22s do, but in my opinion, it runs pretty well, and I've never taken it completely down. I think I should soon. So anyway, that's about the gist of it for the frame. And you know what I'm going to do real quick while we're working on other parts? I'm just going to get some, I'm just going to get some juice in the barrel here if I can. Yeah, it's harder on these smaller barrels. Much harder on these smaller barrels to get this stuff to penetrate in there. We'll let that set while we're working on the rest. So, same thing I do on all my guns. I grease the slide rails, and I oil everything else. A little grease in there. Oil down here. They really oil it. Just here, these were the trigger slides. Okay, done. Meantime, clean this crap off here. I'm gonna use rum oil to clean this. Only because it's not really dirty. You could polish this, I guess, if you wanted to. I don't see how it's going to make any difference if it's polished, except for the fact that it'll be shiny. So that's back together. Let's get in our slide. There's some gunked up grease in there, also in the slide rails. I'm just going to take this off camera for a second. What I'm going to actually do is just spray in here liberally. I just don't want to hit everything else. I'd rather get it on the floor. Then all over my bench. So quickly everything shines up. I really attribute that to the Mobil 1 oil. I'm sure all the oils are probably very similar, but I seem to think that with that Mobil 1 oil, all the dirt seems to just wipe right off. My opinion only. Everybody has their own philosophy regarding oils. Alright, so rim oil the outside. I do want to get some grease in those frame rails, so I'm going to use my, just try and get it. I keep this guy super lubed and greased, just because of the high round count it has. I don't shoot in dirty conditions, like I've stated before, so it never occurs to me that I'm worried about, you know, all this grease turning into attracting muck, thus becoming sandpaper. The only muck it will probably could get is you know, gunpowder residue, which could turn into some junk. This guy here, I just wipe it down. No frills on that. Here, I'm gonna spray out the threads with a little action cleaner. Okay. Wipe that guy off. I'm blowing on the threads to dry out that action cleaner. And what I'm going to do is put a drop of oil on the threads. Okay. Oil on the outside. Get it nice and oily. Same thing on this. Coat of oil. Done. So, let's do some attention to our barrel here. I'm going to run a clean patch through just to get the get the gunk out of the barrel. And do one more, get it kind of drier. There, it's dry in there. Here's our bore snake. I love the bore snake. Big fan of the bore snakes. I have one for every caliber. I recommend them. They really save you some time. Try and do this on camera. Check our time here. Coming up on 12 minutes. So I really enjoy this gun. It is the cheapest to shoot. It was the cheapest gun I purchased. It was probably around 350 bucks. It's cool. It's got manual arms like no other gun I have, with the, you know, dual action and the safety and the single action. So it does have a mag release, so it doesn't let you fire the gun when there's no mag in it. It does have a bunch of safeties, and it actually comes with a key. If you look at right here, safe fire, plastic key where you can lock the gun as well, if that's something you're interested in. I think it's a great gun for ladies to learn on, as well as kids, because there's relatively no recoil. Ammo's cheap; they can shoot the crap out of it, and I mean, the service life so far has been amazing. I haven't changed a part on this gun yet, and it's still going. Should really find some wood to knock on, but I had planned to switch out the extractor for, I think Volkortsen makes a, you know, a high-end extractor for it, but I really don't see the reason, since I haven't really had any issues. Alright, so I'm satisfied with this level of barrel cleaning. I'm just going to run. I'm probably not going to shoot this gun for a long time, so that's why you're seeing. I'm probably going to shoot many of my guns for a while till the whole ammo thing calms down. So I'm going to put some oil down there. I'm going to make sure this thing is lubed up. Okay, so let's snap this thing back together. We go in reverse order. Put our barrel in. Feed ramp goes down, right? Push her all the way on. This here, the barrel sleeve, there's a notch on the back side here, right? That notch goes I believe in the up position, but if you just put it in and spin it, it'll fall into a place where it's locked. Can't really mess that up. Thread on your thread protector for your barrel. Like I said, doesn't need to be tight. At the same rate, doesn't need to be loose either. So pick your spots. Why is that not? Okay. Yeah, I go snug. And it's annoying because it's right at the edge of your frame. So you kind of get in there on a little bit of an angle. Wasn't well designed. Why is this not? There we go. I mean, I'm talking just that's it. One little, nice and snug. So we're oiled up. Okay, the tricky part. So we put our guide rod back in with the spring. There's a notch, right? And this is what makes it tricky. So what you do is, hopefully I can do this on camera. You have your punch ready. You get your slide going, right? And you get your spring. And you begin to push. And what you're going to do is you're going to put your tool, if you have it, and what you see, hopefully you can see what we're doing here. Trying to keep that guide rod centered. And we see. I'll show you that one more time. All right. So we get that thrower spring. Get your guide rod kind of centered, and it'll naturally fall in place. You're going to go back and down. Push up on your lock. Hopefully. If we're in the right position here. Okay. And let her slide forward. Sometimes you'll have to pull down your hammer when it's in this position here. You'll be like, why isn't it going forward? You just got to pull your hammer down a little bit. Mine, as it's been wearing, has needed that. Now you can see it's fine. Let's wipe off the excess oil. We have a clean gun here. Do a quick function check. This is our safety. Safety's on right now. You can always know it's ready to fire when it's in line with the bore. And what you can see is the hammer go forward and backwards. All right, let's get her. Put all that grease in there, but all the extra stuff comes out. So we gotta put it in fire. Remove our mag. Make sure it's empty. Make sure we have an empty mag. This gun will not fire without a mag. So put our mag in. We're in a safe direction. It will fire with the safety on, so I'm just going to turn the safety off. Single action fire, dual action fire. Check our reset. Yep, good. Try not to dry fire too much on a rim fire from what I read. Anyway, that's the Walther P22. Takedown complete, cleaning and reassembly. Thanks for watching.